In this video, I'm gonna share with you my favorite, hands down, and I'm not just saying that because I'm creating this video. It's literally my favorite place in Des Moines. It's a favorite new development in Des Moines. I'll be real candid. I'm not the person that loves new build homes. I really like homes with character. I like homes that are custom. I don't like cookie cutter. Like personally, I think they have a place in the market, but they're not super exciting and fun. This neighborhood is exciting and fun, and it is new build, and we're just scratching the surface on what it's going to be. Welcome to my channel. My name is Darson Grantham. This is a Living in Des Moines channel, and I share everything there is to know about Des Moines, Iowa. The neighborhoods, what it looks like to live here, work here, what hobbies you might have here, what things your family might do here, where you're gonna go get groceries, all that stuff I put together on this channel because one of my goals is that you come to Des Moines, you don't buy a property in an area that you don't like. Hiring us as your agent will help you make sure you don't make that mistake, but that's not why I'm putting this video together. I'm gonna do a little bit of backstory before I get into this neighborhood. And I'm gonna do that because it ties into why I love premise and the vision of this neighborhood so much. And the reason is my wife and I changed the way we were eating about 6 years ago. We started eating more organic, more grass-fed, less toxins in our body. And I'm not saying everyone needs to do that, but it's the way that we decided to live our lives. In doing that, we decided growing our own food as much as possible was a very efficient way to make sure we knew what the food was that was going into our bodies, right? So we lived in town at that time. We lived just south of downtown. It was on 12th and Creston. So it's a very, typical Des Moines neighborhood. $200,000 house. We liked it. We had a front yard garden. We also had 30 chickens in the backyard. So we were like a homestead in the middle of Des Moines. Our neighbors thought we were crazy, but we did that. We loved it. We liked having the neighbors come and eat some of our vegetables. Maybe we'd bring them eggs here and there. Like that was a really fun community feel that we had in the neighborhood. Now we were one of the few ones that were doing it. It was still a really good community feel that we had. This development is creating that community feel in the entire system. I guess the development is called the Middlebrook Agrihood neighborhood, which is down in Cumming, Iowa. Cumming in Norwalk. In that neighborhood, they're just scratching the surface of what they're doing right now. I want to say there's only a couple dozen houses, and the goal of it is to have green space, like a lot more green space than what is normal. The development of the houses is all custom builds from my understanding, and you have multiple different home builders that are building those homes. There is a farm store called the Mercantile, and they don't serve any food, which I wish they did. I'm sure at some point they will. They serve drinks, coffee, they have bands there. They have an area for kids to play. Well, I guess it's just outside in the grass, which for a development is actually kind of rare. They have an orchard coming that's basically, it's called Wilson's Orchard, which is out in Iowa City right now. So they're building out basically the infrastructure of this development. In the development is basically people that want to live more sustainably. You want to grow your own food in the backyard that you have. Maybe not your backyard, but in a community garden, a community chicken house or chicken tractor, right? There is the old farmhouse. Right now, every single Friday, they're doing Friday at the farm. And what that is there's a band, there's multiple vendors serving food out of trucks, there's drinks, there's other vendors that are selling knickknacks, kind of like a farmer's market on a Friday, but they call it Friday at the farm. Across the street is, I believe it's called Iowa Distilleries, and then you have the Cumming Tap. Also, that connects to that agrihood is the bike trail that drives, or that you could ride all the way up to Des Moines. In this agrihood, if you drove by it right now, you'd be like, you can't tell anything fancy is going to happen because they're really, I'd say less than 5% finished, and they continue to break ground to build more houses and more development. Whenever I say that, more development, it kind of makes me hurt a little bit because I don't like more new development. It's good for the community, it's good for the area, but this community seems to be bucking that trend. They are hitting price points of $350 on up. Most of the houses are gonna be $600,000 to $700,000. So it's not first-time home buyers in most cases. And the homes are custom built, so you can get them before they're built or they're custom built and then they're for sale. And you can choose, hey, I like this layout or I don't, or you can start buying lots right now. I say that all because I kind of go back to the history that Sarah and I, my wife and I have of living the basically homestead life in the middle of a neighborhood. Like we did it downtown Des Moines. And so this agrihood, it's the Middlebrook Agrihood, it's really building that out. So I've said agrihood a few times throughout this video. And so I want to explain what exactly an agrihood is. Basically, it's a community development of single family, multifamily, it's mixed use housing that communities put together their resources to have community garden, community farmers market. And so think of your big neighborhood development, but it's all insular. They don't have to go outside of the agrihood that much to get food, to get groceries, at least depending on what you're buying for groceries. This development's gonna have kind of a central garden, a lot of green space throughout. Right now, they actually already have a kids park. My wife takes the kids there. We live on that side of town, not in the Agrihood, but only 10 minutes away from the Agrihood. So I do drive by it quite often. I have coffee and drinks at that mercantile. I really enjoy the feel of it. I'm very bullish on this development in the next 10, 15 years. The amenities inside an Agrihood are going to be the amenities that you could think of in kind of a new development small town. So your breweries, your wineries, your CSA, which is probably not that common for a new development, but this type of new development would have a CSA, which basically you pay a monthly fee and you get groceries shipped to your door or available for pickup. Edible landscaping, playgrounds, there'll be food shops. There's gonna be a 55+ community. It's all built out in this Agrihood. The photos of the vision for it are really neat. There's only a handful throughout the country. The ones that are really built out are very successful, and there is a lot of attention and attraction to them. And I just feel like the way that Iowa is, the people in Iowa, whether it's Des Moines or any of the suburbs, once this starts moving, it's gonna be like a locomotive, and it's just gonna keep going and building steam, because people are going to see the development. It's really tough to see where it's at right now. If you just drove by, you'd be like, well, there's a lot of open fields and it looks like dirt work is being done. And it looks like any other new development, but it's not. This one's going to be different. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't care that it succeeds. It doesn't matter to me personally, financially, nothing, except for the fact that I have experienced that kind of living somewhat in the city. It's very beneficial. And when people do it, I think they're going to like it a lot, and they're going to tell their friends, and it's going to snowball.